Hey, welcome to another edition of Minerals Live.
Hey everyone.
Got
Hey
the
guys.
full crew here this week.
Yeah.
See if I can get this out. There we go.
We're back.
Here we are.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
We're excited to be here.
Oh, gosh.
Back from Tucson.
Back from Tucson 2020.
Somewhat
Yeah.
rested.
Somewhat
We
rested.
all had a
Everybody's
weekend.
healthy.
Well, upright
well,
and still
right.
working.
Right.
Yep.
No coronavirus was
Yep,
had.
nobody got sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Knock on wood.
The wave is still coming.
Yep.
Anyway. So, another exciting year.
Another exciting year,
Had a
yeah.
lot of fun down there again this year.
Was a good year in Tucson.
Yep.
Yeah. And all of our venues were hopping.
Especially Mineral City for Phil here.
Yeah.
Well, you guys brought the people. I was just a sideshow.
That's Sun Gemstone. Where can we get? There we go.
Yeah.
Mineral City, yeah. So we had
Too many layers here.
We had 4 physical venues. I suppose we had 5 venues if you add
Yeah.
our preview that we did at Mineral City. But yeah, Mineral City was hopping this year. Here's a shot of our entrance to our very nice showroom there.
Yeah.
And for the first, 4 days, 5 days, Richard and Steve were camped out in our back room at Mineral City with some of our best minerals.
Right.
And,
We had a fun time back there. We won't have to do that next year, though.
Yep.
Next year, we are going to have a brand new space. So
That's right.
instead of these 2 display cases with fine minerals in it, we will have 2 entire rooms at Mineral City for our top-end mineral specimens.
Yep.
And we will also continue to have our first location at Mineral City in Building A,
Yep.
Yes.
where we will continue to show great Keystone minerals.
Right.
And you really did well with those this year.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
There were some
You guys
great mineral deals in there.
helped
And
set Zach and I up well
yeah.
for success this year. Yeah, the Mineral City venue's really gotten quite popular. And, those of you who went last year when it was only about 20-ish, 25 dealers, saw how much it grew this year to about 50 dealers. And that really helped bring in a lot of new people. And, we made a big push to have a lot of new Keystone inventory, which I think was well received this year. And, it's a great show, great place to come hang out, bring your friends, sit on our comfy couches, got lots of compliments.
Yes.
Everybody
Oh,
loved the
gosh.
couches. And the minerals, obviously, but the couches are popular.
well, I love that you have enough square footage here to allow people to come in and shop. You have 10 display cases chock full of minerals,
Yep.
and they can come in, look at minerals, sit down, have a nice cold drink, and enjoy the conversation with you and Zach.
Yeah.
And so it really turns out quite well. And you've done a beautiful job in getting artwork around in there, so
Right.
it looks
Zach,
very professional.
Zach
now.
came down a few days early, and he's got an art background, and he took his artist eye and applied it to our room quite nicely.
Well, the good thing about it is that Zach is so tall that he can actually position
right.
all of those.
No ladders were used in our interior
required.
decorating.
He could actually just go up and hammer them on the wall,
Yeah.
so to speak.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those that like the more rustic shopping experience, there's
Down to
always a Sun Gemstone right next door.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, and these guys were there really early this year.
Right.
They were open by, I think, January 26th or 27th or something like that.
And you know what's amazing to me is every year we have a huge half-off inventory, and it grows each and every year. We're adding new material to that, constantly putting new material into our Keystone inventory. And we have 2 very popular and very viable locations. Phil over at the 516 West Lester in Mineral City, and then up the street is the Sun Gemstone warehouse. And when you look at the end of the show at the sales statistics, both of those 2 locations do exceedingly well. You're moving hundreds and hundreds of Keystone minerals at both locations.
We're lucky to have a really fantastic customer base for all our Keystone minerals, and as well as our wholesale flats. And it's really a mixture of dealers as well as collectors.
How does that balance out, do you think?
You know, in the Sun Gemstone side, I think they're probably closer to 70 or 80% dealers. On our side, I'd say it's actually more like 50-50. We get quite a few customers who, they love the variety, they love the value, they love seeing what we have that's new. This year we had some new Bornenites that were quite popular.
Boy, they seem to go off the shelf like crazy.
Yeah, people loved them. I was really pleased to see how well received those were.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're hopefully going to have more of in the future. So, stay tuned. And a couple other new things like that really were well received.
Yeah, it was. I could tell by going in occasionally. Richard and I were in the back showing some of our special preview of our high-end minerals. And I'd go in the other room and look in the cases. I go, boy, it's 40% empty.
Time to restock.
Time to restock.
Yeah.
So it was very impressive. Yeah. You were selling a lot of things to collectors and dealers.
Yep.
Yep.
So then, of course, there was always. Let's see, where can we go next? I guess we'll go up to
moving on to
venue
number 3.
Westward Look.
Oh, we had a good time.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Building 34,
Yep.
room 311.
Yep.
And doesn't get any more fun than that.
We weren't there quite as long this year as we were last year.
Yeah. We did our preview showing of our finest minerals down at Mineral City, which, again, we will have at Mineral City next year in Building D, I think is what they're calling the new building. We're going to be in space 5 and 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's being built from the ground up. We're really going to focus a lot of attention on making it a premier venue for looking at extremely fine mineral specimens.
Right.
And I think you'll be very pleased when you come by and take a look at what we're doing in there. We've got a lot of big plans for the rooms.
Yep.
And that's where we'll be doing our preview in Tucson from this point forward.
Right.
We'll come in to Building D at Mineral City, set up when the show opens, and be able to show both on the shelf and things in private some of the finest minerals in the world.
Can't wait.
Yep, it's going to be a place
It's
you're
the
not
future.
going to miss. Yep.
Can we announce the other development that we heard about yesterday
I don't know.
about the Conquistador?
I think so. I think an official letter went out from Laura Delano.
yes.
Yeah, I believe it's
So,
official now.
Yeah. So Mineral City is going to be it, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of effort going into making is it El Conquistador?
El Conquistador,
resort as
Up by
another
Westwood
show
Park.
venue, and I guess due to a number of things outside of their control, apparently the show is just not going to take off. Certainly next year there.
Right.
So the mineral collecting is starting to coalesce around the Mineral City location.
Right.
And Westward Look as well.
Yep.
There'll be superb
For
things
high-end,
there.
right.
Absolutely.
And it's the Westward Look is such it seems like to me, just going into it, now we're going to try to change the equation a little bit with our new Building D location, putting a lot of special features in there and a high-end look to it. But there is a difference between the more or less business-focused warehouse kind of center at Mineral City as opposed to going to Westward Look.
Yeah.
So both have a need in the marketplace, and both have a little different focus.
Yep.
But it is nice to sit in the Westward Look room and have 6 cases of fine minerals to show our customers in a nice, relaxed environment.
Yep.
And this show is in what now? It's 20th year or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
20th year,
Right.
yeah. So it's got a pretty good tradition. And, activities like the Saturday Collector Day and the Sunday evening program are quite popular.
They
as well.
really are. And so it would... I expect the Westward Look, people are always asking us all during the Tucson show, well, what do you think's going to happen with Mineral City versus Westward Look? And most of the dealers I've spoken with that have operations at Mineral City and Westward Look want to continue both shows because they have a different
Niche.
niche.
They're occupying different niches for sure. So they're not mutually exclusive. Hopefully they complement each other.
I think they do, really.
And speaking of the Collector Day,
Yeah.
you have a couple pictures of the cases.
Wonderful.
The Meta Group put in a nice display. It was kind of interesting the way they did it. Unlike the Mad cases and whatnot at the main show, each of them had their own like little segment of a show.
Their little territory.
Right, exactly.
That's cool.
Interesting.
So, well, that really helps because then you can get an appreciation for what they
each collector, right?
What they like to collect and what they focus on.
Yeah, that's a great group. That organization is a little bit like the Mad or the Hams group. You know, they're very active, includes a lot of serious collectors, and it seems like they do a lot of good activities as a group.
Yep, but it was very pretty. Definitely another reason why you need to come to the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Get to see great minerals in people's collections that you might never get to see otherwise.
That's right.
Right. And that week now, with the in-suites going away and everything, is going to be it. The weekend from the Westward Look until just before the main show. Definitely want to be there, folks.
If you're coming for 1 week, that's the time to be there for sure.
So, moving along
to venue number 4.
Got too many pictures to keep up here.
No, it's great.
And this is what, 60-something, I think? 62nd year of the TGMS?
Sounds right.
Speaking of long history.
Yes.
Yep.
And it was a good year to be at the show. You know, the theme was world-class minerals, and the exhibits definitely did not disappoint.
That's very true.
Our booth, again, was fairly large, and we had a lot of really special pieces on exhibit. Some special new exhibits that people had never seen before, and I think it with all the display cases around the show.
And we had a special guest in our booth this year.
We did.
That's right.
Mr. Trevor Nace.
Presenting our new websites, 2 new websites.
That's right.
So hopefully a lot of you listening maybe saw the email that was sent out yesterday, and there was another email that went out before the show about our new website. So we have a brand new website called The Reserve at Collector's Edge, which is more of a kind of an introduction to fine mineral collecting for those who aren't already the converted, so to speak. And then we also redone our main website, and Trevor was there with a big TV. What was that, like a 4-foot TV?
Yeah, it was large.
Not quite the Grambotron.
Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah, and demonstrating all the features of the new websites. So that was great.
Yep,
it was a nice addition to the booth this year.
Yep, but overall, our booth, of course, looked awesome.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Lots of pretty minerals.
Lots of people throughout the show. Definitely one of the most popular booths.
Well, the theme this year was world-class minerals, and the special exhibit cases.
Oh my gosh,
kind of fit that.
They were
beautiful.
They were
cases.
Good. Yep. And
we'll start off at the top here.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets. Really,
Right.
that's a beautiful collection of minerals.
Yeah, great collection of minerals, and fairly new collector, I believe, as well. So it's always exciting to see people entering the hobby at this level.
It is,
and choosing to exhibit publicly.
Yep.
You didn't have any problem winning the Desitels and the Lindstrom, I believe.
Nope. Right.
So
well, when you have the beautiful, famous blue cap tourmaline with a morganite right in the front of it, it's hard. It's hard to avoid the case that has a specimen as special as that.
Yeah.
But the shelves were full of beautiful mineral specimens.
Right down the line.
Yeah, great collection.
Yep. And of course, there was many other fine things to look at.
There sure were, all over the show.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Lots of interesting local exhibits. Here's a nice Bisbee case, the Bisbee Museum.
I loved this silver.
Yeah, this is a wonderful Batapia silver.
Oh my gosh, this
Most of
thing's
them
amazing.
don't have this kind of crystal definition. This is a really nice one from Dr. Peter McGaw's collection.
Yeah, he has such a wonderful collection of Mexican material. Really incredible.
And I thought this one was interesting for the Meta group.
Yeah.
You know, the self-collected, great steel deals. And
Yeah, this was a fun idea.
Yeah.
You don't often see cases where people put in the case what they paid for a rock.
Yeah,
right.
But, that's a fun concept, and it illustrates that the deals are still out there.
That's right.
Even if you're a little jaded at the mineral show, there's still deals out there.
Yep. You can even find deals on coppers and stuff down there.
Yeah, well, that's a story for another Minerals Live.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Mineral wines.
There you go.
Brett Keller in the mineral wines case always looks good.
It does. He has great rocks,
And he
great
does
taste.
good wines, too. He came to Mineral City, did some tasting events. I got to sample some of his wines, and they're quite good. I even bought a couple bottles.
Good for you, man.
Very nice.
Now, are you going to drink them or preserve them?
I don't know. I'm going to keep the bottle for sure. The wine's pretty tasty, so I'll probably drink it.
There you go.
This is a fun case, self-collected.
Stan and Sue Celestian, is that how you pronounce her name?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Nice Arizona collected stuff. Prenite. Not everybody can say they have a love affair with Prenite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this case was mighty
guy
green.
does.
Eh?
Yep. Steve Blyskill of Houston, Texas.
Loves Prenite.
It loves his Prenite. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's there's some great examples of the species in there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's fun to specialize. There's probably not that much competition for,
Right.
Exactly.
For Prenites.
for Prenite.
Exactly. And there's Paul Geffner and Rick Kennedy.
Well, and not only them, but it looks like Sweet Peas over
Sweet
there.
Peas on the
our
left side.
buddy
Yep.
Sweet Pea.
Our buddy Sweet Peas over there holding a couple amethysts on the
The
side.
wholesale enforcer. There he is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Of course, in our booth, we had a couple monumental special specimens.
That picture's cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like the
cool
way
shot.
it's lit from the bottom and
about
throwing a...
Kind of stand back a
Yeah.
little bit. You can kind of see, and then you walk up on it. This was a pretty amazing display.
Yeah.
Amazing treasures
got a lot
from
of-
Arizona.
Yep.
And that the one in the center there, if you didn't get to see it, we're talking 411 pounds of silver
It's
and
huge.
silver-bearing minerals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a really impressive boulder of silver that was found in 2018. Really, really impressive. It's quite the treasure from Arizona.
And of course, the Colorado School of Mines put in
Yep.
a nice display.
Mhm.
Yep. Nice exhibit from the CSM Museum there.
They had two cases. I'm not sure in the mix the other one is, but it'll come up soon.
It'll
Come
Okay.
up
Don't worry.
soon. We'll let you know.
All right. This was JTV's case.
yeah.
Kind of examples from their
Yeah.
book
Yeah.
that they put out. It was
Yeah,
very
a few
nice.
minerals I thought looked familiar too.
Yes,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they're great people.
They are.
Jewelry Television
Absolutely.
is great operation.
Yep.
You go into that place and you just shake your head. I can't believe how much activity. It's like a beehive.
Right.
There's people doing everything, going everywhere.
Mhm.
It's insanity.
Yeah. But somehow it works.
Yeah, it does.
Just like this place.
Yeah,
You mean beehive or hornet's
Yeah.
nest?
Well,
we're insane.
moving along. And our friend Chris.
Yep. New employee of the Mineralogical Record.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
He's got a historical penchant, and this is a cool case. I think
It was.
most of these specimens actually came from us when we got the Philly collection.
Ah.
Right.
This is an example of some famous names associated with the Philadelphia Academy
that's
of
cool.
Sciences
Mhm.
collection.
Nice case.
Yeah.
It was. Nail case next to it.
Yep.
There'll be a picture of one of the specimens coming up a little later on
cool.
here.
Nice thumbnails.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
this was a nice case too.
Gary White. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great worldwide minerals. He, I think, won the was it the Dust Hotel?
Uh-huh, he
did.
A couple years
Several
before
years ago.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice collection.
Absolutely. And there were several examples of people needing to do last-minute label modifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Bruce, man. I was talking to him, and he was sweating bullets on the first day. It's like, none of my labels showed up.
No.
The person who was making them screwed him up. So, in Bruce's defense, he's a very knowledgeable,
Yes.
very nice collector. So,
Yes.
this was not his fault.
No.
But that Hamburgite is not a Heddenbergite,
Yes.
for the record.
No, but his cases looked awesome. I mean,
Yeah, they look
you
great.
see, you step back and look
Yeah.
at this, and it's like, holy cow.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah, fantastic collection. And speaking of fantastic
Yes.
collections,
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was quite attractive.
absolutely.
Myron, Larson, and was there anybody else involved?
I thought it was just those
Just
two.
those
Those
two,
two,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, those two could do some damage, especially when it comes to gem crystals.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that Guerrero amethyst is pretty darn nice
Oh,
too.
it's a
Yeah.
centerpiece for
Yeah.
sure.
Unbelievable.
And there was a group of people that put in some lapidary material from Arizona. This case looked pretty
It
amazing.
really was beautiful. You get azurite and malachite together in slabs, and it's pretty darn
Yeah,
impressive.
It's gorgeous. We may have a piece in the future of this stuff that I think
Yeah.
would respond well to slabbing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. could
It sure
compete with
would.
this.
for sure. And as we were saying earlier, here's the Mad case.
yeah.
The
They
group-
always do such a wonderful job with their cases.
Mhm.
What a great organization up there in
They
Dallas.
are.
Yep.
They are a well-oiled machine.
Yes, they are. And beautiful minerals by those collectors.
Speaking of world-class minerals,
Yes.
our friend Scott Rudolph in New
Yep.
York,
Uh-huh.
really fantastic case.
Quite a
number
lovely
of
case.
famous pieces in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that bunny rabbit
Yeah.
copper. Has always
Isn't
been
that
one of
something?
my favorite
wow.
coppers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fun piece.
It really is.
Yep. And the Mineral Society of Arizona. This is apparently quite an old society. I'm not sure. Are you familiar with it, Phil?
I think they have something to do with the Flag Foundation.
Okay.
And the new MinRec issue is on Arizona, and I think has a little bit of history about them.
Okay.
But, they put in a nice case with specimens from their members and a little bit about their organization.
Gotcha. And we'll let you talk about these folks, Phil.
Yeah, the YMC group, which if you're not familiar with that, is the Young Mineral Collectors, really turned it up a notch this year. They had 10 showcases, which was a monumental effort to put together. Lauren McGaw and Aaron Delventhal and Gowan Fiore and a couple other people who were part of that group really put together a fantastic group of cases. And, I think this is really important for collectors of all ages to see that there's a lot of serious younger collectors and, people range from people who've been collecting like Phil Simmons or Tim Doris for decades.
Sure.
And, some of these cases are people who've been collecting for maybe only 6 months or a year.
Right. Yeah, it's a very impressive group of cases. And a shout out to Lauren McGaw. While we were packing up, getting ready to go home, Lauren McGaw was pulling a little red wagon around, and she was returning to all of the people who had contributed minerals to these young collectors' special exhibits.
Including me.
She was hauling around a red wagon filled with minerals that she needed to return all over the city of Tucson. Bless her heart, Lauren McGaw, despite being sick, there was some allegation she might have gotten a cold from me. I don't know whether that actually occurred.
About that.
It was going around.
It was going around.
Yeah.
But Lauren busted her tail to help put this together along with other people. But Lauren really went the extra mile, hauling the little red wagon around, returning all the specimens after the show was over.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can also catch her on What's Hot in Tucson coming up later this spring. I think you'll see she's the new Dave Welber.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill.
She would have been doing even more interviews had she not come down with a cold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She interviewed us early in the show and potentially became infected at that point.
Anyway.
So
she's doing better now.
She's doing better.
Yes. Kyle Kevorkian and Will Larson and Rico Larson put in a pretty impressive case of thumbnails.
Yeah. Awesome thumbnails.
Yep.
For people, collectors of this age, to have this kind of thumbnail collection is pretty darn impressive.
Right.
And what's really cool about this is people always will go, well, where are the next generation of collectors that are coming along? And this group of cases and this group of individuals and the young mineral collectors have really put forward that we're here and we're collecting at a very high level, putting together beautiful collections, and we love minerals. And so it's really nice to see all the younger collectors. I guess they're cutoff is 40 years of age.
Totally arbitrary.
And, I don't know why that got up so high.
I'm young at heart.
Young at heart at 40. But,
you're allowed to lie on the website, but you didn't hear me say that.
Right.
But 40, apparently, you cease being a young collector.
Right.
We're
going to start an old mineral collectors group
Right.
that membership numbers might get out of control.
It'd explode.
But it's really impressive to see that energy and that effort putting together all these cases this year.
For sure. I loved Aaron's case of pseudomorphs.
Yeah, this is great.
Really
Another really passionate collector
Yep.
who's going to be into minerals for a long time.
And do you know this Leah? Is that her?
Yeah, Leah. I met her in Dallas last year. She's another one of the young mineral collectors, and she's a mineral artist. So she's doing watercolors, kind of in the style of Fred Wilda, and she's gotten quite a following for her watercolor paintings. And there were some great specimens and accompanying photos. Wonderful. One of these Chinese calcites.
Yeah,
this is just
that's gorgeous.
Great
Love
piece,
this little piece
with a nice painting next to it.
Yep. Let's see if I can find my way back to where I was before. Here we are.
Around here a little bit. There we go.
Yep.
New Mexico Tech. This is a great museum if you haven't been
impressive
there.
collection there.
Yep, great collection down in Socorro. Lots of wonderful pieces in there.
Yep. Caught Mark Countess taking a
photo
picture of the
photo.
gold horn.
Yeah.
This is a cool rock. I'm glad this came to the Tucson show. The Harvard Museum doesn't often let this piece travel, but this is truly a world-class rock without using that term as
Loosely,
hyperbole.
right,
No, it really is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
for the state of Colorado, that's a
absolutely
dang important rock.
I know a Colorado collector or two who wouldn't mind having this.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple. And the scale is hard to grasp on this picture. How tall was that?
About
Do you say?
10, 11 centimeters.
Yeah. I mean, it's an impressive thing.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And right across the aisle from it was another pretty impressive little specimen.
Indeed. Yeah, this might have been the most popular exhibit at the show.
Yeah.
I think certainly,
I heard
certainly
lots
with
of talk.
the public. Yeah, this is the Dragon's Lair Gold, and it's now has a home in the Pinnacle Collection. But we spent quite a bit of time, and by we I mean Zach and Rob, cleaning and prepping this piece.
Yeah, it was prepared by Collector's Edge, our lab.
Yep.
They did a great job exposing all of the abundant amount of gold that was in this. I mean, it's hugely heavy. I don't know what the what the final
920 ounces. I think
of
somewhere
gold
around that.
Yeah,
really amazing. That's about. I know there's no scale there. That's about 45 centimeters tall. I think that specimen.
And honestly, when the piece came in the door, I might have been the least optimistic person of how it was going to turn out.
I think I was there with you. I thought, wow, that's an impressive ore sample.
Yes.
It went from an impressive ore sample to a pretty darn good mineral specimen.
It sure did. It's beautiful. And the gold is highly lustrous and huge plates of gold that were exposed by removing through a variety of means, mechanical and chemical, removing the quartz from around the gold. So it was really quite an amazing specimen that was prepared by the Collector's Edge.
Yep. And of course, there was a snail in the building.
There was escargot sighting.
Yes.
There was probably a schmale and a snail.
There was a schmale as well. Yes.
Yes. And this thing, hard to get a picture of it, on display like this, but it just glows.
It glows. Yeah. It has a translucency and transparency that's very rare in these niche mining rotos.
Yep. Gumdrop.
Yep.
And the Smithsonian put in, I thought, a really beautiful case.
Yeah, this was nice. Some real historical treasures. Famous pieces from famous collections.
Right.
And, of course, not to be outdone, the spans.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, this was really cool to see because they chose, what they considered some of their sort of marquee pieces for this case. And that was a pretty darn impressive case.
It really was. Yep. And a couple newer pieces that are in this case as well.
Indeed.
They were getting an awful lot of positive feedback on the Bornonite that happened to have originated with our firm.
Yes.
And
that's an amazing piece.
Yeah, it's kind of towards the top of the risers there on the left-hand side. Just an incredibly large Bornonite, highly lustrous, very well formed, and looks a little bit like the gears of a transmission.
Yes.
And it's a freaky mineral.
At least one collector called me on the phone after seeing that and was almost apoplectic and saying, "I can't believe you guys had a Bornonite like that. That's amazing. Can you get me one?"
Yeah, we just make them,
Yeah, Rob's getting pretty good at it.
And even amazing, well, this turned out sideways, but even amazing collectors like the Spans get a label wrong here and there. The Telfermine calcite, that is not a Telfermine calcite.
That is not a Telfermine calcite, it turns out.
Yep.
But it does look like a nice little Jonas Storm.
It is.
It happens, folks.
It does. And University of Arizona, beautiful worldwide minerals, and touting their new museum coming up.
Yes. This I don't know if we'll see this for the 2021 show, but probably 2022. We'll have a new museum.
Well, that's exciting because they're going into such a historic and beautiful building, and to have a really great collection of minerals come out of the basement and into a beautiful new setting will be quite impressive.
Sure. Absolutely.
That'll be another reason to come to the Tucson show.
Indeed.
Yep.
LA County. This is a fun case. All the Minrec cover shots here. Cover rocks.
Yep.
Really and they're nice people
pieces.
Too. The LA Museum are really nice folks.
Great people.
Yep. And one of my favorite rotos of all time came with Harvard.
Yeah.
Besides the horn, they brought a nice full case of minerals.
And this was a great case.
That Peruvian roto in the back right is unbelievable.
It's huge. You can't really see it there, but that crystal's like almost a foot on edge.
Right.
That is a big piece.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually cleaned by Collector's Edge, Brian told me.
Back in the day. Yep.
Yeah.
So, kind of a little sideways again, but this is a sideways shot of the Spans case.
Yeah. It's
it
hard
even
to
looks
capture.
good sideways.
It does.
capture how many good rocks there are in that
That's
case.
true.
And it shows all the LED lighting in the top,
Indeed.
too.
There you
That's
go.
good.
There you go.
That's good.
And what makes a world-class mineral? But the Rice Museum has got a bunch, for
Yep.
sure.
They do. Yeah, this is a fun idea.
Yep. If you're ever in the Portland area, I definitely recommend getting up there and checking that museum out.
Yep.
And it's beautiful countryside.
Yep.
Anytime you can go to Oregon away from the cities, it's a
go
beautiful
to a rock
area.
museum
Right.
in a redwood
Yeah,
forest.
exactly.
Pretty nice.
You know, kind of an old ranch-style house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty interesting place. And this was a fun case.
Yeah,
You know,
this
what-
was a fun case.
What mineral would you grab if you could only grab one
Yeah.
before your house burned down?
Yeah, yeah. It's a tough call.
Yep.
It is.
What if?
Yeah, they got their little minions avatar there.
Right.
It's fun.
Awful lot of people came in the booth and asked if we had any of those, like, it looks like a field of blue grass.
yes.
I want,
yeah.
I want a piece of that blue
Yeah.
grass.
They're cool.
They're pretty cool, yeah, and they're natural too. You know, people
Yeah.
grow these things, but yeah, Mike Shannon had a whole booth full of these things,
Yeah.
and he was selling them like hotcakes.
Right.
This year or the
This
previous?
year, actually,
Wow.
so these are just collected, I think,
Wow,
in
okay.
the past 6 months or something.
Interesting.
These calcanthites.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Let's get another side view of that.
Yeah. Good rocks in
Yep.
here.
And here's one of the
Drum
Stefano
roll, yeah.
thumbnails.
I appreciate you put that in for me.
Yep. I did this for Phil.
That's right.
Put it next to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Yours is jammier, but mine's bigger.
You're bigger, yeah.
By a lot.
Mine's bigger than yours.
Okay, so we got
Yeah.
this. Thumbnail.
In a thumbnail
Yeah.
box.
Nice enough.
Now, if
Yeah.
I could just
Well,
turn
we got
mine
this.
transparent and yellow,
There you go.
Well,
trying,
yeah,
trying to figure out
details.
how to do that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris and I both love our weird minerals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this picture kind of got in there. Was this on the way in or on the way
This
out?
was on this is the fabulous stretch of country between Hatch and Deming, New Mexico.
Ooh,
It doesn't get better than
It
that.
doesn't get better than that.
And honestly, the state patrol is no longer as
diligent about that.
as thick as they used to be through that area. We used to
That's
really
true.
have to watch our speed. I even passed somebody on this road.
Whoa.
I was
Uh-oh.
so over being cautious.
Yep. Anyway, and Phil found a day or two to get out in the cactus.
I did get out in some cacti and climb some rocks for a few mornings.
Yep.
Yep. There's one of the rocks I was climbing out by Gates Pass.
Very nice.
Get a little bit of exercise.
Do you have any pictures of me climbing rocks?
No, I don't, Steve. Did you do one?
How about me? How about me at the buffet? Do we have any of me at a buffet?
I could have put in a few of those. Be careful what you ask for.
Next episode, folks.
Isn't that a beautiful gold?
Oh, I love this piece.
I absolutely love this piece. You can't really appreciate in a photo how good this rock is.
Right.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
The
gold.
luster and patina is just perfection.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yep. And I'm having a brain melt as to whose case this was.
It's an award winner.
It
This
is
was Yale.
Yale,
this
yes,
was the
Peabody.
Yale
That's why,
Museum.
yes, Peabody Museum.
So they
yes.
got their big ass stephanite from Leespe on the lower left there.
Is that a technical term? Or?
Yeah,
Big
big
ass
A.
stephanite. Yep. It's approved by Terry Wallace.
Uh-huh.
And a big smithsonite too.
Yeah.
Yale has some nice stuff.
Yep. Oh, finally found it. The other school mines case.
There we go.
Okay.
It's got a few of Brian's pieces in there. The rabbit ears was in there.
Wonderful.
Nice Roto, big Bovino Amazonite. Just really cool stuff from
Yeah.
the state of Colorado.
Awesome
Yeah.
Colorado case.
Yep. And the Society of Mineral Museum Professionals.
The
put it in.
SMMP.
Yep.
Yeah. What the curators thought was their personal picks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kind of a cool idea.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yep.
And one last picture, I didn't bring it up earlier, but this is the home of Phil. For
Indeed, yeah.
Several
This-
weeks.
this
in
is
Mineral
home base.
City.
Mhm.
Building A.
Yep. Last
Yep.
year we were just an outpost, but I think
Yep.
next year we're going to be the center of the Mineral City
You actually are.
universe.
And you had a paved parking lot this
Yes.
year.
Indeed, yes.
Uh,
there were all kinds of amenities. There was
Yes.
ceiling tiles,
Uh-huh.
heating, paved. I
Whoa.
mean, I felt
Uptown.
Yeah.
bathed in luxury.
Hopefully we have the same next year in our new room.
Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully
Yeah.
I
the
think
new
so.
building.
Absolutely.
I think Graham has hinted that he's already a week or two behind.
Yeah, we'll be putting ceiling tiles in as we move in, no doubt.
Well, we have people that are experienced in that.
Indeed, yeah, they'll be high-end ceiling tiles, though.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
No normal ones
That's
for that
right.
building.
Absolutely. Well, that's any other reflections on Tucson 2020?
No, I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to see beautiful minerals all around the city, both Mineral City, Westward Look, the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. It's every year it's an amazing event, and if you're a mineral collector, I think you have to make plans next year to come and see it.
You do.
It's it's wonderful to buy minerals online. We encourage you to come to our website and shop with us and with the others out there that offer fine minerals online. But there's nothing like being able to comparison shop, see what's coming out of the ground from all of the different vendors at a show, and to see the special exhibits of great things, many of which are from exhausted localities that you never knew that you could get a bornonite or a stibio tantalite or
big
whatever.
ass stephanite.
Yeah, big ass stephanite or whatever. So it's wonderful to see both the special exhibits at these locations, the Collectors Day up at Westward Look, hear the presentations that are around at many of the venues. I think you did one at
gave a little spiel on Detroit City.
Right. So there's you can go to Mineral City and hear talks. You can hear some talks up at the Westward Look. You hear talks over at the TGMS show. So lots of experiences. And then just getting to have fun and talk with other collectors from all over the world. You meet new people, and it's a super experience. And I don't think you should take it lightly. Spend the money, get some plane tickets, come on down and see the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show.
Yep. I was just talking to a friend on the phone the other day who's been collecting seriously for 20, 30 years, and he said, I've never been to Tucson. I said, you got to go to Tucson.
Wow. Yeah,
you got to go. Just do
it's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage.
You got to come to Mecca.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see you next year.
Yep, hopefully. Anyway, that pretty much concludes Tucson 2020. We'll get back to our normal start next week on Minerals Live.
Yep.
We're going to have some minerals to show our listeners.
We'll have minerals, and please check out the new site and let us know what you think. Let us know if there's something you're looking for that you see, or something you want a video of, or you have a question about. We'd love to help you out.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Everyone.
We'll catch you next time on Minerals Live. Take care.